let's jump to the other stuff then. Let me switch the topic on the screen because I just don't want to have to edit that in later. But we're going to talk about John Cena. So I guess there was a face turn on SmackDown, which happened all of a sudden. And then he had a match with Cody at SummerSlam. Babyface versus babyface. And then Brock Lesnar returned after Cena lost very valiantly. But all right, I said that all really fast, but let's break it down a little bit further, because the main thing I wanted to ask you guys was obviously the face turn, which was very sudden, and I think I even got a text from Vlad about it before I even really watched it. You guys see that? Did you guys hear what happened? I was like, yeah, it's a swerve. He must have something up his sleeve or something like that. But it turned out in the end, no, they just did it like that. That was the face turn on SmackDown. It's like, well, I don't know what I was thinking. My bad. Right? Was that basically it? I mean...
And in short, yes, that was basically it.
Well, the week before, I'll just mention one last thing. The week before was pretty damn good. Me and Vlad had a conversation on the phone. We're like, that was actually good when Cena was trying to grovel out of that match and be like, I'm having, mental problems and, mental health problems, and I can't make it to SummerSlam. And I was like, yeah, this Cena heel turn thing, it's kind of starting to find its way. You know what I mean? And then the next Friday, boom, they just slapped us in the face with it because Cody beat his ass. And then Cena said, yeah, well, that was the ass kicking I needed to, get me motivated, right? He said, thank you, Cody. That was just what I needed. So you're going to get the real John Cena now. And then he said there was a line about him saying that he took advice from bad people who aren't even here anymore or something like that.
Right.
Which was The Rock and Travis Scott, basically. So.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, come on, guys. I don't want to destroy wrestling. So, all right, once again, I'll start with Robert then. What did you think of the whole face turn when it happened? Did you think it was real? Give me something here.
John Cena is a horrible person.
That's it.
I mean,
that's all we got.
Kidding. I'll just start off with that because he called the fans horrible. So,
that's true.
This is
but
a very
he's not a horrible person anymore.
This is a very toxic relationship, man. Toxic. Okay. I didn't hate it that much at first, but the more I thought about it, the more stupid it turned out. First off, the timing of it. This turn happens like literally the 2 days before the match. I don't know. I'm not a fan of like when they decided to do this. It's a little too soon, leading up to the PLE, and then the execution of it is, I don't know. It was really weird. Basically, John Cena admitted to like faking the whole thing, that this is all just an act. I'm just not a fan. I don't know. Again, the more I thought about it, the more I hated it. But I didn't hate it that much at first as I was watching it. But then I was like, I thought about it more. And I was like, this is really dumb.
Hey, I'll do you one better, Robert. I think it's a disaster. I think it's such a disastrously bad, terrible storyline. You know what I mean? It's such a horrible storyline. It's the worst way they could have ended this, possibly. They could have ended it in so many dramatic ways to turn him face, and they rushed it or something. Because I think my opinion is because they had Brock coming back, and they're like, well, we need someone to face Brock as a face, right? Because he's going to be a heel. So maybe they're like,
okay, so they could have done something post-match SummerSlam where like, Cody and Cena shook each other's hand and hugged each other, and they could have solidified that face turn at that point, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was very weird to me how Cody just accepted it. He's like, "Thank you, welcome back, John Cena. Here's a beer." And Joe Tessitore was like, it had all the makings of a swerve. It was like, you think, like as fans, we were like, you think we're gonna fall for that? it was like one of them obvious ones. It was like, well, something's gonna happen. Maybe The Rock was gonna come. I was kind of expecting The Rock, you know. But all right, so it is what it is. Vlad, discuss the face turn itself and then the match before we get to Brock Lesnar. So you could go to the face turn, your comments on the face turn, and then what turned out to be the match of Cena versus Cody at SummerSlam, and then I'll get Robert's thoughts on the match after you.
Okay. Yeah, the face turn, I pretty much agree with both of you guys. It was a disaster because the one thing we were excited about is, since basically what Elimination Chamber is Cena's heel turn and how that would all work. The night he came out, what was it, in Belgium, where the crowd was booing him crazy.
Yeah, first couple promos were very interesting, and
it
was
had
surreal.
such promise because it's Cena. It's Cena, you know?
Yeah,
So
good point, Vlad.
You wanted to see this you wanted to see how this whole heel turn would go. Now, we've always talked about, or at least I did, how they would end the year. Because if he is leaving at the end of this year, were they going to be able to flip him back? I said that like a couple times. Like, were they going to be able to do it? And at some point I said, no, you can't. Because look at the stuff he's saying. It's impossible at this point. He's saying that the fans are toxic, that this is like the breakup that needed to happen. He doesn't need them. They're pieces of shit. He pointed at children in the crowd and said, "You're the problem, not me." So come on, dude. So all of a sudden he wakes up 2 days before SummerSlam and he's like, "Well, you know, I just got beat down by Cody."
Which has
like,
happened 10 times.
Yeah, how many different times has Cody beaten him up since like prior to WrestleMania and after WrestleMania? I don't even know. But all of a sudden, this is the beating that he needed to get ready, and he turned face. So okay, I will say the positive. He cut a great fucking promo on SmackDown. But I did think it was a swerve promo because it made no fucking sense for him to turn face in the first place. It made no sense. But was it a great promo? Yes, because John Cena is a great wrestler. He's a great performer. He's tremendous. So it was a great promo. But it was dumb to ruin this. I mean, the Cena thing already. The heel turn has already kind of been shaky already, but it was starting to again catch its thing with Cody once we knew who he was fighting. But then to flip it around again and turn him face like this was just so weird and so poorly handled. And if it's all just for Brock, I mean, are you kidding? Brock? He didn't even. Nobody's dying to see Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry, in 2025. I mean, that's just the nature of things. So that's dumb too. But I'll get to that when we get to it. As far as the match, I'll go quickly to the match. The match was amazing. I will say that. The match was sensational.
I'm rolling my eyes, but I'll talk after you guys.
It easily could have been one of the top 10 matches of either of Cody and Cena's career. It was so good. It was so damn good. Despite what I just said about the lead up and the stupidity of it, man, they put on a hell of a show, bro. I was glued. I was watching it. It was tremendous. It was great theater. It was great performance. Because all of Cena's matches have been kind of lackluster, to be honest, since he came back. This was not lackluster. This was tremendous. This was an incredible match. And like I said, it will go down and easily, I think, it's Cena's top matches of his career, and probably might go down in Cody's top matches of his career as well. It was great. It was great, great, great. I again wouldn't have booked it like that. Of course, I kind of was hoping for a way for Cena to walk out with the title, but the company made their decision what they were going to do, and that's what it was. But I don't agree with the booking, but I do agree. I will say the match was tremendous. Like, as far as if you just look at in-ring work and entertainment and talent that you takes to put on a match like that, they delivered as far as the match goes. The booking. Well, you know, the booking fails you sometimes, and the booking failed them this time around. So
on the old Malapert Smark rating system, what would you give the match itself? Would you give it a fire rating?
It was a fire rating. It was one of the best.
It was a street fight, but it was still really good to you. Okay, Robert.
Yeah, it was tremendous.
What about you? What do you think of the match itself?
Well, one more comment about the face turn before I talk about the match.
All right.
I think ironically, John Cena did more to ruin wrestling with that face turn than anything he ever did was during his heel run.
Heel turn.
Just gonna point that out.
Oh my
But okay.
god.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
agree.
I also loved the match. I thought it was really, really good. His best match in many, many years, and I also would put it in his top 10 for sure. The only thing I didn't like was when he kicked out of the three crossroads. Like,
Three Crossroads,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Cody
yeah.
Cody
I
also
thought
kicked
that
out of
was
three AAs, which
true,
one of them was
true.
off the top rope.
At that point, I was like, all right, guys, might kind of tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, dude, too many false
Everything,
finishes. Come on.
but everything else besides that, I loved. So if I were to
Yes.
if I were to rate it, I would give it a loved it rating. I thought it was really awesome.
All right.
Easily on the top 10 for both John Cena's matches and Cody Rhodes, and this is John Cena's best in many, many, many years for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I would give the match a thumbs up only because I was just waiting for the swerve to happen. I was like, well, if there's no swerve, this is stupid. Like the match just ended. I was like, that's it. So that was the face turn. Oh my god, that's when it hit me. Once the match ended, that's why I was very.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Me too,
once it
me too.
ended and nobody showed up, because I thought, okay, they're having like a respectful street fight here with some weapons and stuff, steel steps, whatever. Someone's gonna come. You know, there was also some stupid spots where Cena was like looking at the WWE title belt, like, should I use it? Like it was illegal to use it. It wasn't illegal to use it. It was a street fight. But he's like, no, I'm not going to use it today this time because now I'm really a baby
I think he did
face.
that more as a callback to what he did in the past to Cody.
At WrestleMania.
I know.
Wasn't really that was really the whole point of it.
I get it.
Well,
but I think
I just want to say one thing real quick, Cam, real quick.
yes.
I
Go ahead.
will say, to be fair, and to be completely fair, I'm always critical of AEW because they do the matches where there's countless kickouts and finishers, and the matches go on forever and ever. You can accuse WWE of that in this specific match, but at least when WWE does it, they do it in their big shows and not every single goddamn match like on the card.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to think. I mean, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I do think that there was a problem with that, but considering that it was Cena, that it was Cody, that it was SummerSlam, that it was the main event, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with occasionally that happening. Like if that was a regular thing, no, I would not be good with it. But I just wanted to point that out so people like don't consider it like a hypocrisy or something like that. All right.
It was pretty ridiculous, though, the number of fucking finishers that they hit in that match. But okay.
That's fair. If you want to take points off from that, then you can.
Yes, well, I'm mostly taking points off just because the backdrop was so stupid and disappointing. The fact that, yeah, well, okay, you're right. If you accept the Cena face turn and the fact that they had a match of old classic Cena versus Cody at SummerSlam with the main event for the title, and they both did their best and they both kicked out of every fucking thing they could have, then yeah, it was good. It was what it was.
Well, weren't you kind of amazed though that Cena could have a match like that? Because I was stunned at some point.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one. Well, I did give it a thumbs up. Come on, I didn't say thumbs down or anything, but
I didn't know he had it in him.
Considering the matches he's been having with
the
Orton
CM Punk
and
match
R-Truth
was
and all these just mediocre, terrible.
The CM Punk match was pretty crazy.
That's true. The Punk match was better.
Dude,
But
he
the Cody match
lifted up.
was incredible.
He AA'd Bronson Reed after he had that long match, like at the very end, and he still AA'd Bronson Reed.
I mean, with CM Punk. I mean, yeah.
With CM Punk, yeah. I thought Cena had it in him, but you're right. He did show like, okay, this is the last year. But okay, this is his last year, and they want to get everything they can out of Cena. So out comes Brock Lesnar after he's trying to get the standing ovation from the crowd. Is like, yeah, you know, one last thing before we go to Brock Lesnar. I will say my prediction didn't come true when before we left. I predicted where Cena was going to lose the title. One of you might have said SummerSlam or something, but I said on his last date, I thought they would wait and do this basically. I think they could have just had Cena go all the way through his run as a heel and fight Cody on the last day and drop it on the last day and turn face during the standing ovation, basically. And that would have been good to me. That would have been the end, and it would have been fine. But instead, they turned him face, and now he's waving to the crowd. It's not necessarily his last day anymore, but he's not champion, so we don't know what the hell's going on. And then out comes Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar, everyone's surprised, gets a pop, and attacks John Cena and AAs him. So, who wants to go first? Should I flip? Oh yeah, F5's him. I'm sorry.
F5.
Yeah,
F5.
he stole Megan Bain's finishing move.
Oh, really? That's what happened. Okay.
I haven't seen Brock Lesnar recently. I don't know this guy. I've been seeing Megan Bain put all kinds of women in the F5. But anyways, so out comes Brock Lesnar.
Well, you must have been watching Collision because she's not on the main show.
I watch Collision. I review Collision every week on my live streams here. But
Right.
Vlad, okay, you go first. What about Brock Lesnar? You're excited for Brock Lesnar against Cena? That they had to rush this Cena face turn so he could do the greatest hits, right? And face Brock Lesnar one last time
One of his rivals.
before he leaves.
One of his rivals.
So
sure.
yeah, what do you think?
Well, no, I'm not excited, and it's nothing to do with Brock exactly as like a character, but just the matches itself are going to be they're not going to be good because Brock is like he only really can do a couple of things now, and that's really just German suplex you a million times, and that's pretty much all his matches have come down to. Really, the last couple of years he was in the company. He's not as mobile as he used to be, and he's probably bigger now. And he's a big guy. He's strong, obviously, as an ox. But I'm not excited for the potential matches. Like, I don't think they're going to be very good. It's just not a good mix. You got old Cena and old Brock, and it's just not. It's not going to deliver like that. I mean, maybe they could make a good story, but it's been done before. It's all been done with I don't think they needed Brock here. Honestly, like if they wanted to bring Brock back, cool. But I don't think it needed to be against Cena. And I think they rushed everything, and it was just not well done. And I'm just not excited for it. What can I say?
Okay, Robert, does that excite you at all? I know we've not been following wrestling as closely as we were when we were reviewing every week, but what does this do for you? Does this make you excited to watch this, or can you pass on it?
First of all, let me talk about his appearance first.
Yes. Review the appearance, please.
I will also have to say this was unreal and definitely not material that's going to be covered in a documentary on Netflix. All right, so
you love mentioning this Netflix documentary.
Yeah, right. You have an issue with this, huh? You don't like them breaking kayfabe like that? I was trying to no-sell it when you mentioned earlier, because I don't like breaking kayfabe like that either. I totally ignore this Unreal show.
The ship sailed with that.
But come on.
It was entertaining. I liked some parts of Unreal. But okay.
You watched Unreal? Oh my god, I would never. Sellout, Vlad. You're a sellout.
Of course I watched Unreal.
Oh my god.
Unreal was better than the weekly shows, I'll tell you that.
Oh wow.
Right
Wow. Okay.
I'll tell you that much right now.
All right. So let me go back to Brock's return. So this is one of the most shocking things I've ever seen.
Wait, being sarcastic?
No, I'm serious. Look,
you're serious.
I was like genuinely really shocked at this return. Like, and nowadays compared to like how it was in the 90s, where like anything that can happen can surprise you. It's very, very difficult to get to have that feeling where like you're genuinely shocked by what you're seeing on screen, right? I as a fan of wrestling since the 90s or the early 90s, I miss that, and that's one of the things I wish could happen more often. And so when that happened, like, kind of reminded me of the good old days, like pre-internet, and like where everything was fresh to me, right? Unfortunately, in this scenario, even though I was surprised, we still have to address the big elephants or beast incarnate in the room, right? There's a lot of controversy with his appearance. So I was I
That's
was
why you were
shocked, but
surprised.
well, yeah, that was the reason why I was surprised because I never expected to see him back in on WWE TV. At
Well,
least not for a very long time. Um,
yeah, at least he didn't do as bad of things as Vince did. You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
So okay, so it's important to keep in mind that he's named in the lawsuit, but the lawsuit's not against him,
Right.
right? He's just implicated in it, but it's not against him. Um, so with that in mind, I guess it makes sense that something like this could still happen. Um, Now, his return does make sense, given that, he has history with John Cena. But to answer your original question, am I looking forward to it? Not really, because it is a conflict we've seen several times before between the two of them. So I'm not overly excited about it, and you know, Brock Lesnar's matches are very rarely any good. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Not much to look forward to here, but it was a very, very surprising return.
yeah, okay. So
That's
the
true.
pop was because it was surprising.
Hmm.
But once you
Yeah.
get down to it and you figure out, oh, this is what this is going to be, it's going to be Brock Lesnar challenging a WWE Championship list John Cena. See, I don't want to see John Cena's greatest hits as his run winds down. Like that's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see him have like a genuine storyline and title reign and ending to the storyline. It was more important that we got that than we just get like him facing Punk was okay because it fit within the storyline. He was the champion, Punk was challenging him. Now this is just I don't know. I don't really see why Lesnar is challenging him. I guess he just wants one last shot at the great John Cena to prove that he beats him. I guess
I mean, the last
did
time they faced off,
Cena beat him last time or what? Who
no,
won the
no,
last time they faced off?
Brock Lesnar
Brock did.
demolished John Cena. It
He
wasn't even.
demolished him. So why does he need to do it again? I think I sort of vaguely remember that. Yeah, I'm not excited for it. First of all, I'm not
Uh,
excited for Brock Lesnar returns. Like that's like a thing that comes about every 1 or 2 years, where it's just like everyone
Yeah.
freaks out. Oh, Brock Lesnar's back. I don't know. It was interesting for a little while when he came back from UFC to become a WWE wrestler again. He was kind of a big deal. It's like, wow, he was UFC champion. But now he's been in WWE for a number of years. And since before the pandemic, I think, 2018, something like that, he's been consistently there. So every time he returns, it's not that really interesting to me. Honestly, I'm not excited to see Brock Lesnar like he is a legend, but I don't know. It's just not someone that like when he returns, I'm like, oh shit, he's back. Like when Hulk Hogan came back or when the Undertaker came back or something. I don't know. I do think he's on that level. He's a superstar, but I don't get excited to see Brock Lesnar because Vlad, like you said, the wrestling, the matches are okay. He's not as athletic as he used to be. He's more just buff. So he German
Yeah.
suplexes people a lot, and that's about it. So, uh, yeah, I'm not
No, I mean,
excited for
if
this.
this was young Brock, the Brock that had those matches with Kurt Angle in his earlier days,
mm,
sure, this would be, I would be like all good. But at this point, he's not going to do any of that stuff, and because he can't, and it's just going to be a bunch of nonsense. And they've already done it. They've done this feud, and I don't see what they could add to it. And I'm not sure what is going to be accomplished by having this or bringing him back this way. Like, I don't mind if they want to bring him back. That's their choice. I think he deserves to come back. I don't think he wasn't really accused of anything. He didn't really commit any crimes, so he could come back. But yeah, I don't think this use of him is what I would have done. I would have continued with the Cena heel thing and let it go a little bit longer, and maybe then eventually like Cody somehow gets him to turn face by just some sort of mutual respect thing. But the way they did it so fast and how it didn't make any sense, they kind of ruined everything. And the booking has been a little. Well, it's been more than a little. It's been off. For a little while.
Well,
Now,
hold it right there. Hold it right there. With that being said, let me switch the topic on our board to the next topic, which is the current state of WWE. I think that leads directly into this because to me that Cena face turn was pretty much a disaster, a very poor storytelling, and the Brock Lesnar thing also not very excitable for us. So, all right. With all that being said, after WrestleMania, we kind of figured it was a good time for us to take a break. I think we're all a little disappointed with WrestleMania. The Rock never showed up. Travis Scott showed up instead. So now we've taken another 3 months. SummerSlam has passed. So where has it gone? Has it gone up or down since WrestleMania? Or is it kind of the same? I guess start with Robert. What do you think?
I would say the same. My interest level in WWE is not really changed. Like I don't. Okay, so just as an example, I had Raw on television on Monday, but I didn't actively watch it. I was doing other things as it was on, so it was more like background noise more than anything. I wasn't there were certain segments that I paid attention to, sure, but for the most part, I wasn't really watching it. So that kind of gives you an idea of how interested I am in it, right? I mean, I still follow it to an extent, so I know what's going on with a lot of the angles, but I don't care enough to really watch the whole show or even like a decent portion of it. I just watch certain scenes here and there, and that's it. Um, so I can't say it's either gone up or down. Well, look, anytime John Cena is on, for sure, I'll pay attention because there's not many opportunities left to see him on screen, right? So like that's an example of when I would for sure pay attention, right? But outside of that, there's not much. I don't know what else to say
Dude,
about that.
and in particular the John Cena heel turn and the low quality of it, I think it really killed the quality of the show as well. Like if I was actually getting someone to watch this and follow along with the storyline, like if I had a new friend where I was like, "Hey, try to watch this wrestling," and then this came up, it would have been a disaster. It would have been like, "Damn, this is shitty like amateur hour storytelling. You guys fucked up." And now you regret the heel turn, and now you just want to flip it back real quick all of a sudden and pretend like we're not going to notice. Like, come on, no, dude, that was awful. So the fact that this happened, I think, really killed this year. Like, I'm only going to keep watching because I'm such a hardcore wrestling fan, but this was a major booking gaffe, in my opinion, from whoever is to blame for it. If it's the fact that The Rock threw a wrench into Triple H's original plans or what the hell happened. I don't know. In the end, this all turned out to be a fucking disaster, in my opinion. So that's my opinion on the current state of WWE. But I do have a mild interest. Like you said, the Seth Rollins stable on Raw, Vlad, it's okay. It's mildly interesting because of who's involved in it and everything. And then on SmackDown, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to challenge Cody. We haven't gotten to the next SmackDown yet, so I don't really know. I mean, I'm excited for anything. I'm excited to see like Damian Priest against Aleister Black, so I'll fucking watch anything. But I think in terms of what we were reviewing a couple years ago, because we were doing the Malapert Smark Podcast with you and me, you guys and me, for 2 years, 2 solid years, from like 2023 to 2025, and it was pretty solid stuff. Like we covered, I think it was a very good 2 years for us to cover in detail, in depth. There was a lot in there. AEW, like they were at a period where they weren't doing so bad, and The Rock was there. We covered all of The Rock's run into WrestleMania when he was involved with that. A lot of good stuff. And then now this year, a fucked up run into WrestleMania, even though they had a Cena heel turn, and then a kind of disappointing Cena heel turn, and then a fucking horrible face turn. So it all just seems like a disaster to me, and they want to scratch it all off and start over, and let's see what happens. I don't know. This Cena heel turn turned out to be so bad. It was almost as bad as like the NWO ending. Like NWO ended like it didn't have an ending, but this was like that. They just sent them out to read one paragraph. Like it was like how I ended my storyline on this podcast with the AI host. Remember that? I ended it the same way. I came back. I was like, "Hey, guess what?
You said, I'm taking over." Yeah.
This AI thing is not working. I'm going back to the way it was." You know what I mean? You got to give a little bit more care into these storylines, man. People are actually watching, and there was a million ways they could have ended that John Cena heel turn that would have been better. Like a bunch of different ways. Like when Darth Vader was turning face at the end with when he saved Luke against Darth Sidious and threw him into the thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like something emotional, something gut-wrenching. But no, they just totally threw it in the trash and said, it didn't work out. It was a stupid idea. Like they just shit all over our faces. So I think that was a disaster, Vlad. So I think they got to win me back, basically. I think there was a period of time where it got hot. You know, they had that run-in with Cody finishing his story and all that, and everyone loved it. But now I think they took a tank, dude. WWE took a shit. And I would even say that I liked All In better than SummerSlam this year. What do you think of that, Robert?
You, ooh, let me think about that for a second.
All right, well, let you think about that, and
No,
I guess
you're
I'll
right.
get...
I think All In was actually better.
All In
Yeah.
was deep. It had a lot of good
Yeah.
matches. But, all right, Vlad, I think you're next. You're the last one. The state of WWE, what do you think of it? In terms of, everything, how some WrestleMania and how we stopped watching, and, we kind of kept an eye on it, and now this Cena thing that happened, and what's to come for you here? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was just a great time to really not focus on it and do these shows. Honestly, it's been lackluster. What can I say? It's continued to be lackluster. It carried over from a lackluster WrestleMania main event to the show. To the rest of the show, or to the rest of up to SummerSlam, and it's really not a like they have the wrestlers. They have all the guys they need at this point. It's the same guys that they've been using for the last couple of years. Cody, and Roman, and Punk is there, and the Usos, and whatever have you. And they've got new young stars in Breaker, and Rhea is there, and all those people are all still there. But the issue is the creative has, and it happens sometimes. Look, maybe they've hit a bad patch. I don't know, but the creative has not been good for them. It's been lackluster. It's left a lot to be desired as far as creative shows and things like that. I mean, maybe this is just a thing that happens in wrestling. I don't know. We never watched territory wrestling, but maybe like the company goes through hot streaks, then it cools off, and it maybe cools off for a while. And maybe that's just a normal trend in wrestling. I don't know.
And they just have disasters in booking. Sometimes they can't book it the way they planned it because shit happens. People get injured. There's political issues. The Rock was probably, I heard he was in there trying to butt his nose in and change the booking. But overall, I would say a bunch of storylines nowadays that are kind of poor for WWE, which I wouldn't have said before. Like Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch.
Oh, God.
Or,
So
Rusev versus...
As another example that I thought of right now, I feel like recently Karrion Kross has been getting a lot of fan support. It's kind of noticeable, right?
True.
So then I'm sure WWE is aware of that, right? So heading into SummerSlam, I thought it would have been smart booking to put him over Sami Zayn actually, but they didn't. So I'm questioning booking decisions like that as well. So I don't know. It would have been more interesting if Karrion Kross actually did go over and see what comes of that. Like does the fan support of Karrion Kross get even bigger, right? But now we won't know because that momentum has stalled. So I don't know. It's a lot of A lot of weird things going
I think that's one. I think also the Jacob Fatu is another weird thing because here's a guy that's got super over, and now he's feuding with Solo, who's not really that over, and he's continues. I know, okay, he's losing by interference and whatnot and all this stuff, but this has gone on too long, dude. Jacob Fatu is a main eventer. He should not be in this feud anymore, and he keeps losing to this guy. I'm not a.
There goes Vlad. I knew that was gonna happen because I saw
his picture froze.
Solo hit the spike on
Yep.
Vlad's iPad. Oh my god! All right. Well, as we're waiting for Vlad to come back, this is a rare time where Vlad's thing has malfunctioned instead of Robert's. Usually, it's your computer that you're the one who has to go and come back. But all right, Vlad was in the process of ripping on the way Jacob Fatu is being used and not being pushed. I agree with him. He should be a main eventer, basically.
Well,
he's only
right. But at least he had. At least he has a title. You know,
he had a title.
Like he had a title, right?
Solo won it from
there
him.
was a push. I think they can push him again. Whereas Karrion Kross, he had upward momentum, and then they kind of just killed it on SummerSlam. I don't know, like, what's going on, WWE? Why?
Well, I heard that Karrion Kross might be done. That they might release him or something, or he's leaving.
Okay,
I'm not
well,
sure.
if that's the truth, then okay, then that makes sense.
I'm not sure why, but that's just something I sort of saw, like glossing by, swiping. I don't know what news outlet that was, but I mean, yeah, I would have had him win that match at SummerSlam too.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I think that was a disappointing booking that they had Karrion Kross lose to Sami Zayn right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean he's been good. But yeah, there's been other disappointing storylines as well. The New Day.
Oh my God, what is up with their outfits?
Grayson Waller.
Wait, how did he end up with? Yeah, obviously I haven't been paying attention, but how did he end up?
How
with
did
New
Grayson
Day?
Waller end up with the New Day? I don't know. You'd have to have been paying really close attention. Like they would be like in the backgrounds of certain other like backstage segments where you would see Grayson Waller talking with New Day for like a few weeks. And then finally it got revealed like Grayson Waller broke up with Austin Theory and now he wants to hang out with the New Day. Basically. He's kind of their flunky. It's really weird. He wants to be their flunky. He thinks they're successful tag team. But yeah, it's a disaster of a storyline, but that's not the only one, man. WWE has plenty of them right now. There's several of them. Like I said, the Lyra Valkyria one with Bayley, that one is turning out to be a dud. Oh, let's see what Vlad is saying. He's restarting his Wi-Fi. I don't know what the heck happened. All right, well, that's good. All right, well, we're basically done ripping on WWE, I guess. It's okay. I don't know what to say. It's a good wrestling show.